Alright guys, I'm back again working on it. Last time I left off, I was messing with the electrical here. We got both of these turn signal running lights off. Figured out why the issues were. It's mostly just a bad connection. I had these guys still I want to go through and sand down, and I'm going to rivet nut those just so we have a nice contact that I can really tighten down into with some good threads. I'll probably go through and do that on both sides here. I know it's not the best lighting, but like you can see that right there, like that. There. Sorry, hard to focus, but I mean, you got wires exposed, you got a nut kind of threaded in there, but I mean, how much can you tighten that down really? Alright, when I took the side marker turn signals off last time, I actually wanted to go ahead and clean all of them up, so it took some time. First I took these brackets off, sanded them down, okay amount, nothing too crazy. I mean, I'm not trying to reinvent the thing. Primered them, gave them a nice fresh coat of black on there. Took these guys, taped off the chrome, and then resprayed all of that black and just kind of freshened it up. And then I went through and polished the chrome as much as I could. I mean, you can see some, it's old, it's pitting, it's going to be what it's going to be. And I did that with both sides. Put some new bulbs in here. These housings, same thing, sanded them down, nice coat of black on the outside, I don't know, silver on the inside. They weren't really chrome, but I'm not going to pay to get them chromed. So new bulbs in there, dielectric grease. And then these gaskets were pretty brittle, and I couldn't seem to find any. So I actually went ahead and 3D printed some. I think they're going to work out just fine. They fit pretty good. We'll see what happens once I go to reassemble. I still have to take these guys, and I'm going to go ahead and wet sand them with like a 2000 or something like that. Can't really tell that well in the pictures, but they're pretty scuffed up. Just some, I don't know, light marks, and I just kind of want to clean them up and give them more of a shine to them. So I'll do that all before I reassemble. And then I still want to take, here's the grill, this section I'm gonna probably 3D print apart, cut it all to the same size, and then I will form it together and then respray probably this whole thing black. I may or may not take this chrome off beforehand. I mean, it's all kind of beat up anyway, so no hard feelings about losing the chrome here. Then there's a couple small cracks. You can see that guy right there. It's got a good crack in it. I'll just try to form those guys together. I mean, a lot of this chrome on this does clean up. I'm not a chrome guy, so I mean, like, I'll probably keep the hubcaps and stuff. You see these caps are, well, like that one's pretty rough, but I polished this one up and they cleaned up well. Take these headlights out, these lenses. I'll probably black out these rings and refreshen up this black. Probably black this guy out as well. I know a lot of you guys might not be a fan of it, but it's my car. I do what I want. And then I have aftermarket bulbs here. I'm going to also figure out what's going on with this bumper support bracket. So I noticed this guy right here just kind of, I don't know, hanging on to whatever. If you come down here, you can see it. Here, let's get a better angle there. You can try to at least. Okay, you can see it tied up to what looks like this bumper support bracket. Supposed to be threaded in there, but I don't know, this bolts off to the side. It's supposed to be butted up to the frame. That is not the case. I'll just figure out why it's not. Hopefully it's not going to pull this bumper too much in. Maybe that's why they did it. But, you know, I'm not going to have that. So I want it nice, butted up tight against that. So I'll probably take it off. Seems pretty sturdy, but I don't know. We'll figure it out. And here are the aftermarket bulbs. I've had them for a while, but I kind of had more pressing things to get to, and figure as long as I'm there. These are going to be the LED ones. I want to say this lights up. I forget exactly how they work. I don't know, but that'll be fun to install and make sure those work right and everything. Just kind of give it a fresh, more modern look to it. Not that I don't like the OEM, I just want something a little different. And we'll see. Maybe I won't even like those, and I'll put the factory ones back on. Other than that, once I get those set up, that'll probably be it for the front end. I'm gonna go ahead. I did order new pinion seals for the back, and I'll do that and reset the pinion. And then I'll be hopping into the inside and figuring out what's going on, why the gauge cluster, none of that lights up or anything. And that should be it for most of the electrical, at least for now. And figure out how much of the floor pan is crap. If I'm gonna have to get all new floor pan, if I'm gonna be able to just kind of cut and splice pieces together if they're not too big, if they're not too bad. Obviously, like I said before, this this area is kind of a lost cause. I can't really splice this back together. It's just in too bad a shape. So I'm gonna have to call Joe and Patty and get new trunk pan ordered and get that welded in. I may or may not wait until fall or winter next year and do that. I don't know. We'll see. I don't like leaving it like that, but at the same time, I have so much to do, and I really want to get it back together in driving condition. Another thing I forgot that I need to do yet before I can even drive it are all of these weather seals are rotted out. And like I can't even wash the thing properly because it leaks. And I have the new seals. I just have to, pull out all of the trim, pull out all of the seals, pull both front and rear windshields, and then even put in a new headliner, which I have already. But, I had to pull it out to get there. And I've never done any of that before, so I'm hoping for the best. Now that I'm saying all this, I'm also realizing another thing I have to do. You can see obviously that these wipers are sticking up. It worked when I got the car, ran it a couple times. It was a little sketchy, and then it just stopped. So that could be a ground, it could be a fuse. I haven't really looked into it. I figured I'd play with it when the time comes. So much to do, but I really want to drive it, So we're gonna kind of take it from there, and I think we're going to start off with this bumper. Let's get to it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and nutsert this guy right here. What I ended up doing is kind of grinding it down. I'm going to put a 1/4-inch nutsert through that. Then I'll have a good solid ground for these markers coming through. Then I'm going to go ahead and take these bezels off, and I'm going to start cleaning those up, take the headlights off so I can put the new ones in, and then get this bumper off and figure out what's going on with that side that's all messed up. So let me get that nutsert in first here just to make sure it's going to work out. If I can get this camera sitting somewhere. Alright, so I got a grade 8 1/4-20 right here. I got a nut and then 2 washers, and I'm going to go ahead and thread the nutsert onto that, get it to come through just a little bit at the end here, and then jam that nut right up against it nice and tight. Stick it through the hole, make sure she's nice and flush. Probably could have went a little smaller on that nut, or on that hole, but we're there now. Alright, so hopefully you got a good enough angle on that. Let's see. Stainless steel, just to make sure, let's go a little bit tighter on it. Just to make sure it's going to be a good ground. I don't want to get like an aluminum one or something. Sorry if I'm bad angle or getting in your way here. Okay, let's back this guy up. Wrong one. This core sport's a little banged up, so I wonder if there was an accident at some time. But there goes that. Nice and clean, riveted finish on there. And this is how the back kind of looks. Make sure it's nice and mushroomed out. Don't think she'll go anywhere. If she does, I always wish it didn't. Now, guess I'm about ready to start taking these guys off. Now it looks like they're just fell up, so shouldn't be too bad. All right, let's see. One right here. One right there. And, oh, well, I was gonna say one more down here, but it looks like she's kind of pulled out. That hole might be a little beat up. I'm gonna go ahead and put that back in and kind of thread these back in just for now, so I don't forget where everything goes or what screws go where. See if I can manage to hold that in place while it turns. Oh, not too bad. She's kind of broken at the end there, but we're gonna deal with it for now. Looks like she holds all right. And it just kind of slid out. All right, and I'll take these and I'll do kind of the same thing I was doing. Well, you know, I'm probably just gonna flat black the whole thing. Sorry, but I'm not a chrome guy. So let's go ahead and do the other side. Also, I did go ahead and try to polish the lenses on these. I didn't have a whole lot of success, but better than it was. And I mean, from where it's gonna sit, you probably won't tell anyways. Do the same thing over here. One. Oh, looks like that end came out with that one too. 3. Again, I'm just going to put those back in so I don't forget about them. Ow! You can kind of see some more of that old turquoisey green or whatever color coming through. Apparently they didn't take anything off when they repainted this. Look at that. You can see orange on the rim right there. Don't get me wrong, I'm no painter, and I don't have any intentions at this time of painting it. I would definitely outsource that. I'm not set up for that kind of thing, but I may consider wrapping it in the future. But we'll cross that line when we get there. Let's see how easy these headlights come out. Looks like there's 3 screws. That hold this ring in place. Nice screw or bolt here that's not doing anything. Anyways, go ahead and pull those. I don't want to lose them. 2 screws. Another thing that's going to be blacked out. Oh, I guess that's just how she comes up. All right. Get some light in here. Kind of looks like this cord is pinched a little bit. I don't think I'm going to get a whole lot more slack out of it. So let's see. Ain't she pretty? This is what we got. 3-prong, 3 facing up, bottoms open. I don't even know how the new ones are, but I'm gonna set these to the side for now. You know, looking at this bowl here that it sits in, it's really rusty and, you know, just kind of crappy shape. I can't honestly leave it in that kind of condition, so like everything else, I'm gonna just pull it off and clean it up while I'm there. Might as well. There's a spring holding it on this side. So these 2 screws, sorry, this one and this one here, use as an adjustment. Then there's a spring here to kind of keep that tension on it. Alright, I got a little pick here, and I'm gonna see if I can get that spring off with. Get my light going down there. Like doing drum brakes. See if I can get that off at the end. There's one. The second one, and I still got pick up for the string off. Oh, well, it just kind of comes right off. All right. Oh, and inside of there doesn't look too bad. A little bit of overspray, and I don't see any rust or anything. So, fortunately, I'm gonna leave that. But definitely gonna get this re-cleaned up and whatnot. Take a wire brush in there and then scuff it up nice, and primer, maybe just some black flat in there. I'm gonna do the same thing the other side. I probably won't record that. Okay, this is what we got set up so far. Obviously, I've shown you guys already this stuff that's kind of been gone through, polished these up, made my own gaskets, cleaned these guys up, repainted them, new bulbs, repainted these lower black areas, and then polished out the chrome to the best of my ability. Cleaned these guys up, the brackets, and then repainted them. This is that bowl that I just took off, other than that bottom. Got this sandblasted and then just kind of primered and painted a flat black. Same thing with the bezel that kind of goes around the headlights themselves. And these are those housings that go around the whole headlight. I did the same thing essentially. I just sandblasted them and, excuse me, just sandblasted them and primered them, and then shot them with a flat black as well, or satin black probably. And they turned out pretty decent. They could be better, but you know, it is what it is. If anything, I'll go ahead and sandblast them again and maybe even send them out for powder coating. I haven't taken out this headlight yet. I'm going to go ahead and do that after I put the other one back in, just so I make sure that I have everything in right. Next, we're going to go ahead and take off the bumper here and figure out what's going on with that bracket that's down there. Once that is all situated, we can kind of start putting it back together. And then I got to go through this guy, and I'm going to fix that missing area and then kind of plastic weld a couple cracks that it has. That's where we're at. I know that every time I'm shooting this, I look different a bunch of times. I might be covering things that I've already covered before. A lot of the times my videos are shot within a month or so like that. So I could shoot it one weekend. I might be two weekends before I even shoot another video. So bear with me on what I say, or if I covered something already, or if I just look ridiculous compared to the other times. All right, it is time to rotate these cars. I'm going to take that one and put it where this one is for now. I'm probably going to be selling it soon, so I need to get it detailed and cleaned up and out of the garage. I'm going to take the Comet, I'm going to move it to that side. Once that other car is gone, I'll have more room to work on it. But this is going to be the first time I started it up in a while, probably all of winter. The headlights and stuff still aren't back in, but I don't need that to reverse it out, so give you guys a good cold start here. Hopefully the other car doesn't drown it out too much, but I'm sure that'll be loud enough for itself. Just a little bit of love. Okay, I got it. That was a bit of a pain. The problem was, one, obviously trying to turn this thing inside of a garage like this. So as you can see, I got this shady little ramp in here. Hopefully pretty shortly here I'm going to get a actual concrete ramp that's, you know, the full width, the 16-footer or so. But otherwise it's a foot drop off in my garage. So obviously that's not going to work. But what I noticed when I was driving it, that I didn't notice before, I mean, I noticed that the brakes were poor, but it almost feels like they're sticking really bad. I know it has a 2-bowl master. I don't know what else they may have done. I've seen a couple new lines. I don't know if they didn't bleed it properly or what the case may be. I mean, I'm gonna have to pull the drums off anyways all the way around, but it almost felt like it was sticking when I was trying to give it some throttle, and then when I would give it throttle it would spin too much, spin the tires, and it just made it for a pain to kind of get it lined up and everything. But back to what we're doing. So I'm gonna get the bumper off. I'm gonna straighten out that bracket, put the bumper, probably paint the bumper, to be honest, while it's off. It looks like it was painted gray or silver at some point. Not in too bad condition. Looks like they just painted right over the chrome, so no. I'll go ahead and sand that down, and then, like everything else, do that flat black that I've been doing, or satin black or so. And then put that back on, get the headlights all in. I do have to do some wiring on the headlights since I'm going with the LED ones. So I think these guys are normal. With these additional ones it's highs, and then these sides, or no, these ones are running, the sides are turn signal. This is regular, this is high beams, I forget exactly. But I have to wire into the running lights, which later on I might just take them off. I go with like a Maverick grill, and just do without the whole running lights on there and just have them in the headlights. But for now I will have to wire those in because I want them to work, and it's pretty easy, just kind of tapping them in. But that's some additional wiring, slowing me down, slowing progress. Then after that I'll figure out what's going on with the dash and the wipers, why they aren't working. And then I want to do that rear diff because that was leaking this whole time too. Kind of get that new seal in there and reset the diff as well. After that, I think I'm going to go with that shifter. I may wait on the pans for now, but that's what I'm going to do. We'll go with it.